Conroe's just tore up that Conroe defense, and looking tonight to limit New Caney's run game.
So another Tiger tactic for me is going to be dominate the trenches. A little bit of playing off of yours, but either on the offensive or defensive side, just get the big guys on the offensive line, battle, win your matchups, win your assignments, and just continue to either put the defense on their toes or do what you have to do on offense and just score big.
Absolutely. My second Tiger tactic is going to be utilizing your skill players. You have Cam Nunley back there, the freshman quarterback, so you're going to want to try to give him as much help as he needs. And you're getting a big key player back, Dramico Green. I saw him suited up, warming up, missed the last 3 weeks with an injury. He is going into, I believe, district play. He was either the number 1 or the number 2 running back. So he's a big guy you're looking for. And also, we have a 5-star transfer from Ohio, Dorian Brew Jr. Plays both ways, number 29. You're going to want to look out for him on the field, looking to see how much he's going to be able to be incorporated tonight in this game. So, yeah, just being able to utilize those skill players both on offense and defense.
My second Tiger tactic is going to be win big on first down. And what I mean by that is don't just get your 1-2 yard gains. You got to win big. 5, 6, 7 yards. Establish a good first down to keep the defense on their toes so you can continue to push down the field and execute and get into the end zone. Sam?
So my last Tiger tactic is going to be don't let those last 3 games bog down the rest of your season. Your 3 losses are to the top 3 teams in the district. And it's quite interesting, actually, because New Caney's 3 losses and then Conroe's 3 losses are both to the same teams, the Woodlands, Willis, and Oak Ridge. So it's going to be really big playoff implications tonight for this game, and it's really exciting to see what's going to come out of tonight's game.
And my final Tiger tactic, don't give away any free yards, whether you're on offense, whether you're on defense. Do not let any of these penalties hurt you in any way, shape, or form. Got to be playing very disciplined football again. We know that the Tigers have been struggling some this year with giving up those free yards. Hopefully they've done a little bit better and not having to have a lot of penalties that'll just take away any momentum. And that's one of our Tiger tactics for tonight. So before anything, we're just coming up on our sponsorship videos. So Sam, we're just going to take a brief time out.
Yes.
And we'll come back and we'll talk about a couple more stats from our key players leading into tonight's matchup.
You've got a lot going on, so how do you find time to take care of you? At Houston Methodist, we work around your busy life. There's same-day visits when you're sick, online scheduling with specialists, access to all your records through MyChart, and video visits 24/7 if you need urgent care. Bringing you Houston Methodist's expertise, wherever, whenever you need it.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
For over 40 years, Woodforest National Bank has proudly supported the youth and schools of this great community. Our bank has grown through the years, and Montgomery County is our home. With over 30 convenient branch locations right here in Montgomery County, we are your community bank. Next time you're in the area, stop by and say hi. But for now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Shopping for a new or used vehicle, or just looking for a place for good, reliable service? Go with the name you know. Gullo Ford, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Toyota. The Gullo family has been serving the Conroe Woodlands area since 1970. So the next time you're shopping for a new or used vehicle, or just need service, do yourself a favor and go see Gullo Toyota, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Ford. Or log on anytime at GulloAuto.com. Gullo, let's drive.
This is Donnie Buckaloo with Buckaloo Chevrolet. After 2.5 years, I'm proud to say we have new Chevrolets in stock today and are receiving new inventory daily. At Buckaloo Chevrolet, what you see is what you get. We don't charge market adjustments or added equipment you don't want. The price you see is the price you pay, so don't pay over MSRP. On I-45 in Conroe or shop BuckalooChevrolet.com.
It's a better buy at Buckaloo.
It's not enough to be the leader in robotic-assisted procedures if we're not by your side for every step of your recovery, guiding you back to what makes you, you. Because it's not enough to replace your knee if we're not getting you to the moments that can't be replaced. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
Thank you again for our sponsors to allowing us to continue to bring you every broadcast every week throughout the football season here on the Woodforest. We're at the Moorhead.
Oh, we are at the
Moorhead. We're at the Moorhead Stadium. I've been used to doing too many games where Woodforest this season. My apologies, especially being a Conroe High alum. Yeah. So shameful. But going by the numbers coming into tonight's game, there's no Christian Nunley.
Correct.
He's still injured.
Still injured.
Still
a little banged up.
So right now, Cam, he's going to be the starting QB. So the freshman is still getting some reps. And just some of his numbers, he's just 25 for 44 on the season, 229 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Not bad.
No, especially against what is a really good Oak Ridge defense. Looked really calm and composed. And then also in that Woodlands game, played the second half. Wasn't able to get in the end zone in that Woodlands game in the second half, but looked really calm. No interceptions in the second half of that Woodlands game. And just seeing, as a freshman quarterback on varsity, what he has shown is exceeding expectations from everybody on the Conroe football team.
And another player that you were talking about that was Well, the Tigers are about to come out of their inflatable, running onto the field, and if you can see, your Golden Girls and the Rangerettes are down on the field alongside the teams wearing pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
I'm liking the ROE on the black jerseys tonight with the matte black helmets. Very nice.
Very clean look. Not sure if they've had this look this year. They have so many different combinations because I know they have the 2 different helmets with the black and the white, and just, the Conroe colors, really any combination, you can't go wrong with any of the combinations.
Gold, white, black.
It looks so clean.
Classic.
Especially in the Friday night lights.
Now, before we had to jump to our hype video, I apologize for stepping over that a little bit. You said that you saw Dramico Green earlier this evening in full pads and warm-up, so we will most likely be seeing him this evening?
Absolutely. Yesterday, interviewed Coach Hardman, asked him about Dramico's status. He said wasn't sure. He said it was going to be a game-time decision, but looks like it's playing in favor of Conroe. Not sure how much we'll see of him. Probably on, a little bit of a pitch count if you're talking in baseball terms, but just having him on that field just makes this Conroe offense just that much bigger of a threat.
And the other thing you were talking about was Dorian Brew, the new transfer who is actually eligible tonight. And were you able to talk to Coach Hartman about his play in activity tonight?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about in our interview yesterday. He's just trying to ease him in here. Dorian coming from the Ohio area, so it's a long haul. He's just trying to get settled into the new city, new environments, and we might see him play a little both sides if you follow, Colorado football, kind of like a Travis Hunter-esque type of player.
What some of us would still call Ironman football. So he is number 29. We'll be able to see him. And we're seeing that the ROTC is making their way to midfield, and we're going to go ahead and mute ourselves, and it'll be the national anthem, kickoff entitlement. And we are not that far away from kickoff tonight, so thank you for tuning in with us, and we will be back momentarily. Sam, you're a little fired up in here tonight.
Man, I am. I kind of feel like I'm out there on the field right now I feel like I could run through a brick wall.
Or at least that inflatable.
Absolutely. The big Conroe Tiger Head inflatable with the green glowing eyes, and they've already made their entrance, though. I think I'm a little too late to go make mine.
A little bit, but I like the intensity.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Conroe High Band for the national anthem. We should have our kickoff entitlement coming up shortly, so we get to see who will be actually flipping the coin and heads or tails, who's going to defer to the second half, who's going to receive. A lot of this excitement. But Sam, we were discussing a lot more about a couple key players, and we were just going a little bit over Dorian Brew, and you said that could be potentially some Ironman football.
Mm-hmm.
Any other big key injuries that might not favor Conroe tonight?
Absolutely. Nigel O'Day, number 13, usually wide receiver number 1. I believe he has concussion, but saw him walking around. He was in the uniform, just not in the pad. So it looks like he's doing well. I just want to, play it safe, make sure everything's doing good with him. And I actually see him right there.
So he is on the sideline. I do see him as well.
At the 40.
So he is at least here for support for his fellow teammates.
Absolutely. He was throwing the ball around a little bit, trying to get loose. I bet he wants to be out there on that field 100%, but always want to make sure player safety is a big thing as the captains are heading out to the field right now.
Led by Tyler Tates, number 71, number 17, Devondre McGee, number 0, Mitch Melton, and number 10, Matthew Westmoreland. For your Conroe Tigers, those are your captains.
Yeah, all three. You got 3 leaders on the defense, and then you got Tyler Tates, the left tackle for Conroe. All leaders on that team. I know Coach Hardman likes to get his seniors out there as the captains. I know last week there were some different players as captains, just trying to make sure all those seniors feel involved out there. And this Conroe defense trying to turn it around and get a big statement game. As early on in the season we called I believe 2 of those early games where they didn't allow more than 10 points in any of their first 3 games, and they're trying to get back to that sort of dominant playing.
Let's see what the head referee says. So your Conroe Tigers will be receiving And they're going to be attacking the north end zone, defending the south end zone in the first quarter. So we already get to see this offense first thing. As a return team is getting lined up, talking with the special teams coach, let's remember that we have ourselves 48 minutes of football coming our way. And we're happy that you're here with us tonight. Where it's a nice, cool, it's starting to cool off a lot.
Is.
I believe it was just 80 degrees right as the sun was setting, so we know it's dropped a couple more degrees out there. So there was a bit of a breeze tonight. You can see some going towards the south end zone. If you just, in our distance, in our our point of view, we could see that.
Yeah, and hopefully rain's not a factor. Tonight it looks pretty clear, but all this week, I know they had the practice in the rain. It was no lightning, just very, very wet week this week.
Very much so.
Yeah, so.
Number 80, Joel Rodriguez, will be kicking off for the Eagles. I believe Jalen Mayen is back to return for, and
I think that's Isaiah
Tyler
Pruitt. Is it Isaiah Pruitt? Number 18?
Okay.
Jersey's a little scrunched up. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
I know. Plays a trick on us.
Yeah.
Nice return over at the 7-yard line. And that was Isaiah Pruitt. He gets close to, let's say, 10 yards on that return. We're going to get to see this offense start on their first drive tonight.
Yeah, interesting to see what type of formation they come out in. Their first offensive play last week was a wildcat jet sweep touchdown against that Oak Ridge defense. Took it to 41 yards, but it looks like they're starting here 5 wide with the freshman quarterback back there.
Yep. Offense is going empty. Nunley in the gun. You see Brew in motion as they hand it off. Is he sweeping to stretching? Gets extra. Gets 7 yards, maybe 8 on that first carry. Thought you said they were going to have him start off a little slow tonight. Maybe a possible pitch count. Let's go ahead and get him some reps early. What did you see? What'd you like right there?
Just absolutely. You know, when you start off in that 5 wide, defense automatically thinks, this is going to be a passing play. But when you have that motion across the line, handing it off to Dorian Brew, just great play call.
Mayen in motion. As they were going with the screen over to Brew again. And that's going to be a big loss. That'll be a 5-yard loss for the Tigers, so it'll be a 3rd and 6. Drew comes off on the sideline. Nick Medina is in the backfield alongside Nunley. Cameron Nunley. Goes to the middle of the field, finds his man. That was Jalen Mayen. Gets the first down for the Tigers, their first down tonight.
And that is an absolutely huge, just kind of a motivation booster for Cam Nunley. I mean, last week you had a lot of trouble on 3rd down and just trying to keep those drives moving, but you pick up the first 3rd down of the game is huge.
Mayon goes in motion again. Crosses back in the backfield. Play action. Nunley's going to keep it. Runs. He drops the ball. Ball's recovered by DJ Lewis for New Caney. First turnover of the night. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles as they are in Tiger territory.
Yeah, just ball security there. Nunley saw he didn't have anything downfield, tried to take off and just pick up those extra yards, but might have gotten a little too aggressive there trying to get those couple yards, and it costly turnover for the Tigers on what was the start of a very promising drive.
Quarterback number 10, Hunter Taylor for the Eagles. He's a lead rusher for New Caney. As he gets stuffed. I believe that was Eric Sanchez on the rush for New Caney. You see number 20, Logan Dunn, in at fullback. Play action. Taylor's keeping it. Tries to stretch it, but he gets tackled as he gets maybe 2 on that. Actually, Caden Cooper is going to be in the backfield. Looks on DeAndre Frazier for the Eagles.
And this is kind of where Conroe defensively struggled last week. Is it didn't matter how far the offense had to go on third down. It just felt like every time that the offense was able to pick up the first down on third down. Let's see if that can change tonight.
Eagles going split back. See the defense making some movements. Gets the short pass. As it is going to be a touchdown for the Eagles. That was to number 9, Caden Cooper, with the touchdown reception.
Yeah, just looked
goes
like
42 yards.
I believe that was a 42-yard touchdown, roughly around there, and that was just really a simple play design where you had the split back formation, and one of the running backs just kind of hanged out in the flats and was able to.
We get our first penalty tonight. Probably going to be. I saw movement on both teams. Going to see if it's going to be on Conroe or New Caney. So it's New Caney pushing them back 5 yards.
False start on the offense.
Rodriguez splits the uprights as he gets the extra point. So after the fumble recovery, the Eagles strike first, leading 7-0 here at Moorhead Stadium with just 8:55 left in the first quarter. Sam?
Yes.
You were talking about the coverage that was on that touchdown play. It looked like there was just no defender in that area whatsoever. If you were seeing, the linebackers were moving around. It looked like they had one safety deep back, but then they had one other corner, but it just didn't have anyone on. I believe it was Cooper, and he was just not even blanketed, just completely open, and was able to just stick to the sideline and go in for that score.
Yeah, just New Caney able to find a little weakness in that defense and kind of play out that way when there's 2 running backs in the backfield and you got a little bit of miscommunication with the linebackers on kind of like assignment-wise on which one's got which running back. And so just good play call by New Caney, and as I said, just a constant killer for this Conroe defense is not being able to get a stop on third down when you desperately need one.
Especially whenever you were able to just allow minimal yards in those first 2 plays. Rodriguez kicking deep again. They're going to let this go out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback as they will line up at the 25. This will be the second drive for the Tigers tonight. Still no sign of Dramico in the backfield. See if he gets any reps this series.
I think I see him out there. Yep.
There he is. So he's lining up in the backfield. Actually, he's going to be lining up near side. Mayen goes in motion. So it's going to be a delay of game for Conroe.
Foul start.
Nope, false start.
5-yard
Either
penalty.
way, still
First
that
down.
5-yard penalty.
Well, I see the play clock at 0. I know that you guys can't see it on your screen at home, but I do see it at 0 unless the play clock is not operating right now.
Could always be a possibility. Was a little rainy this week. I know that they were having some difficulties with the...
Well, I know that we've had a lot of renovations here at Moorhead. Nunley gives it to Dramico as he just falls in the backfield. So it'll be a 2nd and 16. Looks like he just didn't have his feeding coming out of being set. Yeah.
Yeah, might be a little anxious getting back in there. Wanted to make a big play after missing 3 weeks, so...
Nunley drops back, plenty of time. Gets into the flat. I think that was number 15, Zachary Allen. Gets 7 on that reception. So it'll be a 3rd and 9. Actually, 3rd and 8. Pocket almost collapses on Mayen, but he finds Keegan Odell as he gets another first down. Tigers just right in midfield almost. You see the replay. Steps up in the pocket. That's nice vision. Sees the open man. So it looks like this secondary is playing very free zone. They're not really playing so close in coverage. So it's good for Nunley to see that opening with his receiver in the zone. As we have another penalty.
I think it might have been
this timeout?
Yeah, it was a
Timeout.
kind of a funky formation Conroe lined up in with 4 receivers at the top of the screen. Kind of, maybe it could have been like a little...
Like a diamond?
Yeah, it looked like a...
I know Grand Oaks does that every once in a while.
So that might be what they saw, but...
Something like that?
Absolutely, that's
yeah.
exactly what...
Grand Oaks has been doing that style of formation.
But from that big 3rd down conversion, I really liked how Nunley was able to feel that pressure coming from his side and his ability to step up in the pocket and deliver a clean pass right to his receiver. And that is something we're going to be watching throughout this game, is how can the freshman handle the pressure on 3rd and long.
Especially he's 2 for 2 on 3rd down right now,
and
on the 3rd down conversions.
The only mistake was that fumble he kind of lost, but what we've seen from him so far passing the ball has looked really promising early in this game.
Got to give it up to the O-line for giving him plenty of time to just make his reads, being able to step up in the pocket. That's the biggest thing. That gives a huge confidence booster for your quarterback. As long as you have a great O-line, that gives you plenty of time to make through your progressions and find your receiver. That's all you truly need. Tigers going split back. Green in motion. Nunley steps up. As he connects with Jalen Mayen, gets another big first down as he just gets that little streak in the seam.
Yeah, it just looked like a little zone beater type of play. And, yeah, New Caney in that zone. And once he sees Mayen clear the linebacker, he knows he can throw and just make sure he gets it right before that safety.
So Mayen's been used a lot in motion so far this evening.
Absolutely. He's the big motion guy.
As Medina gets the handoff, but he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage for a 2nd down. The good momentum here by the Tigers, being able to push down the field, get back into actually the first time in the Eagle territory tonight. So they're in the Eagles' nest. Actually, the Eagle's Nest would probably be the red zone, right?
The red zone. They're more of in the tree, the eagle tree. I don't know. I guess eagles live in trees.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Mountains, cliff sides. Mayen in motion as he gets the swing pass out of the flat. As he finds some open space, he gets close to the first down marker. It'll be a 3rd and 1. See?
Yep.
There's Nunley. And even just throwing across his body, that's a nice pass right into his hands, right around the face, where he can have full eyes on the ball.
And that's something you see a lot of is Mayen and Bryson Champagne are kind of like the motion men on this Conroe offense. Those are the two players you see in motion the most.
Might have been some miscommunication.
I think that was a design play, actually. I think it was supposed to be Cameron Nunley was supposed to go to the sideline and looked a little confused, and then a direct snap to Medina, and Medina just dropped the ball, but they pick up the first down. And I think if we're going to see the replay here possibly.
I thought it was a busted play, and I was just going to compliment Medina for getting the first down.
No,
especially when they were trying to draw the defense off sides right there.
I think that might have been designed. I don't know. I might have to go back and look at that, but either way, they pick up the first.
Nunley. Pocket collapses as he gets sacked in the backfield. That's number 23, Andrew Wilkinson for the Eagles. So you are right. They are keeping Dorian Brew on a pitch count because I haven't seen him take the field this series or this drive. So it's a 2nd and long. So referee calls a play. I think that's another timeout by New Caney, or it's going to be.
New Caney.
Wow.
Their second choice timeout.
Yeah, they were trying to make some substitutions late, so they went ahead and called the timeout so they don't get penalized.
Burning 2 timeouts on this drive. Still time left in the first quarter. But
roughly 16 minutes, 25 seconds left in the half.
Some great math on a Friday night.
Well, I mean, 12 minutes a quarter. We have 4:25 left here. 16:25.
There we go. And they only have one more timeout to use in that span.
Well, no matter what, it's not like back in the day where you would have rolling minutes with your phone plan.
It's true.
You don't get these timeouts. They're there to be used.
That's true.
You want to be conservative with them, but at the same time, if you need to use it, go ahead and use it. You still have one left. It's whenever you see something like that will happen later that could possibly hinder them later in the game or later in this half. But the Tigers back lining up. Medina in the backfield. Tight formation for the Tigers. Ball at the 30. Zachary Allen in motion. Thrown to the middle of the field. It is caught by Odell as he goes. Gets into the end zone. That was not Odell. I'm sorry. That was Jalen Mayen.
And pressure coming from the New Caney line, and Nunley able to get it out quick. But
breaking that shoestring tackle.
Impressive.
So Jalen Mayen, nice. Yards, runs, after catch, whatever you want to say. Tigers go 75.
Huge drive. Coming off of the fumble.
Arjit Singh with the extra point. Eagles strike first. Yep. Tigers come back with the big pitch and catch right there from Jalen Mayen. We have ourselves a ball game.
Yes, we do. 7-7. And on that touchdown play, New Caney sent pressure, and one of the big things there was the block by Nick Medina, the running back, to buy Nunley a little bit of that extra time so he was able to step up in that pocket and get that quick pass off, because New Caney got some guys into that backfield quick.
And from what I've seen from Cam Nunley, the quarterback, looks like one of his favorite targets tonight is going to be Jalen Mahan. Every single quarterback has that one security blanket receiver that you continue to trust, whether it be from practices, training camp, whatever it is. You have that relationship. You know where to put the ball, especially in their hands. And we're seeing that tonight.
Absolutely. Sometimes it might not even be a receiver, could be a tight end for, the Chiefs, Mahomes and Kelsey.
I thought we weren't going to be talking about them tonight.
We said we brought it up a little bit earlier. We said we'll see if it comes up in
our
the
pregame
broadcast.
meeting.
We did our little pregame meeting.
So the ball comes out. It looks like the Tigers have it. I think that the jersey's bunched. I'm trying to see who that was on the fumble recovery. So here's the replay. So it's a high kick by the Tigers as it comes out. So that was number 25, Jace Ferguson, getting the recovery, and that was just right through Dalen Wilson's hands. He just bobbled it a little bit. So 2 turnovers. So it's turnover by the Eagles, turnover by the Tigers. Eagles' first turnover recovery. The first turnover that the Tigers had, the Eagles scored a touchdown. So let's see if the Tigers can do the same. Nunley. Pass incomplete. He was looking for Keegan Odell.
And something I'm seeing out of this Tiger offense is it kind of looks like the playbook is more open than what it was last week. You have the freshman quarterback in there making his first start last week. Kind of feel like some plays, are off the table. Let them, feel more comfortable that week leading up to practice. But we've seen a lot more passes down the field. Last week was a lot of, little check down screen passes, a lot of jet sweeps. But, tonight we've seen just kind of him flinging it all over.
So he was playing with a little bit of a governor last week.
Yes.
So D'Amico with the handoff. Looks like about a 3-yard gain. So it's 3rd and 8. Look for Mahan in the slot. Nunley decides to keep it as he gets tackled after a 2, maybe 3-yard gain. So one thing I'm seeing with Nunley is whenever he does do these keepers, whenever the pocket collapses, he's still holding the ball like he is going to throw. If you get past that line of scrimmage, you need to tuck it and run.
You gotta tuck it, and that's what might have contributed to that fumble we saw on the first drive. But as we mentioned a lot, freshman quarterback, he's gonna make some mistakes, but as he plays the game more, those are some things he'll learn and pick up as he continues his.
Tigers going for it on 4th down, play action. Going with a little corner route, and it is an incomplete pass. Looking for Tyler Wise. So it'll be a turnover on downs by the Tigers. Sam, do you like the aggressiveness going forward on 4th down this early?
I feel like I do. You only had 5 yards to gain there, and your offense has been absolutely rolling. You feel like you have all the momentum on your side, getting that turnover. And you got to kind of think about it like that was supposed to be New Caney's possession there. You're kicked off, you just scored. It's supposed to be New Caney's possession. You can kind of get a little over-aggressive and not feel too bad of like, oh, okay, that was our possession. We kind of wasted it, but now it just feels like, okay, we just kicked off to New Caney by giving that turnover.
Especially not knowing if Arjit Singh actually has long enough to kick it. I think that would have been maybe close to a 50-yarder if they decided to go for a field goal.
Right around 45-ish, 50.
we're going to have ourselves an official timeout. But the Eagles started off with a big first down, so it's going to be 2nd and short with only 2 minutes, 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Still 7-7 at Moorhead Stadium. So, Sam, I gave you an assignment back when we were working last time. I think it was the week of homecoming.
You did.
What did I do again?
You told me I had to watch Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. It is an Indiana Jones film, but when it originally was released, it was called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I was just giving some context to the people at home, letting them know it was from the Indiana Jones series.
Okay. We'll come back to that a little bit later. We're about to resume some play, so I don't want to step on any of this riveting game to get your analysis of the movie. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit at halftime.
Yeah, but a great game so far.
Right you are. It's 2nd and 3 for the Eagles. So Taylor hands it off, but it looks like there's a guy in the backfield who puts a big stump on it. That's Tice Williams.
There we go. Tice Williams, former Boise State commit, flipped his commitment a couple weeks ago to Texas State and showing why he is a D1 athlete.
So it's 3rd and long. This is where we're talking about being able to get the stop on 3rd down. I do see Dorian Brew at corner playing tight. So we have tight coverage. And that is an incomplete pass by Taylor as he was looking. I believe that was Caden Cooper again, but he was looking for him on a wheel route. And that'll be 4th down for the Eagles as we're going to have ourselves another official timeout with 1:40 remaining here in the first quarter. Still tied 7-7.
Yeah, the Conroe secondary, which is a secondary I believe was really good, just got even better with the addition of Dorian Brew. I mean, you have Devondre McGee, who is kind of like their lockdown corner, but then you bring in a guy like Dorian Brew, who has offers from, big-time schools, I believe Ohio State.
I believe you said Notre Dame in the pregame.
Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan, Texas A&M, and he's only a junior. So just the ability to have this very, very well-skilled player on both sides of the field is going to help improve this Conroe team going into the future.
So low snap, as it is a short, high punt from Rodriguez.
Bounce.
Favorable bounce for the Eagles, as man was going to be back to return. But they call poison, and it'll be a 1st and 10 at the Tigers' own 20 with a minute 26 remaining. Well, they're saying 19. See the referee spotting it at the 19 now. Tigers able to draw 3 and out. As we get to see this offense, see if they can put some more points on the board. As D'Amico Green is in the backfield with Nunley. Green gets the handoff as he tries to turn the corner. Gets 4 on the rush. That'll be a 2nd and 6 with just a minute remaining here in the first quarter. As the Tigers are going to go empty. Look for a man in motion. As we see a screen that was to Zachary Allen for no gain. Maybe, no, it was just a loss of 1, so it's 3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be a design screen where the O-line just bails out and lets everyone get into the backfield. Just
trying to just draw a lot of the linebackers and the offensive line or the defensive line in the backfield as the Tigers go empty. As it's another play to Zachary Allen as he is met at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th as time is going to expire in the first quarter. We're going to move to the other side of the field. And after 12 minutes of play, we are still tied. New Caney Eagles 7, Conroe Tigers 7.
they have the Oak Ridge Grand Oaks game playing next door. I was trying to check the score out on that one, and it looks like it's from the score ticker on the bottom. It says Oak Ridge 7, Grand Oaks 3, and it looks like they are in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looks like Oak Ridge is attacking the field right now, putting some pressure on Grand Oaks, but we're not worried about that game right now. We'll give you a couple more updates. But, Sam, what did you see so far from the first quarter that you like from this Tiger offense and defense?
I'm seeing a lot of exciting football with some big plays down the field from Cam Nunley and his composure back there, his ability to navigate the pocket when pressure comes, and then also besides that one fumble he had, his ability to drop a play and take the sack instead of trying to make it the hero play.
So seeing gets the punt, but if the bounce favors the Eagles as it'll be at midfield, which is decent field position for the Eagles. Tigers were able to draw a 3-and-out last drive for the Eagles. Any of your Tiger tactics coming to fruition tonight?
I believe so. I mean, well, one of them was don't let the last game drag you down, and it looks like they've came out and done that. But stop the run pretty well and utilizing the skill players as we've seen. A little bit of Dorian Bruin, a little bit of Jermico Green out there. So
it's a play action. Taylor's keeping it as he gets tackled by 3 Tigers. I know the last series we did see Hunter Taylor get up slow, but he was able to shake it off, and he's still playing under center for the Eagles. Nice stop there by the Tigers. Sam, that was not a Taylor Swift reference.
We talked about it in our pregame meeting. I didn't know if you were didn't know if that was on purpose or not.
I promise you there is not a list of Taylor Swift songs written down for me to cross off throughout the broadcast. I'm not checking off any things. I mean, there is a blank space out there. I'm not doing it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. Eagles, 3rd and 6. Tigers looking to play tight defense. Split backs for the Eagles. Taylor keeps it. Looks like he's got plenty of pressure. Throws on. Trying to get rid of it quick. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Big 3rd down stop again by the Tigers, putting pressure on Taylor. It's not my fault that Hunter Taylor's last name is Taylor, okay? He wasn't that swift back there on that play.
Yeah, on that play. Overall in the season.
So it's a fake by the Eagles as they get the 1st down. So Dravon Wilson with the fake. Eagles continue to keep this drive alive.
Man, this has been an exciting game. We've seen a lot of.
We've seen 2 turnovers. We've seen 2 scores. We've seen 1 play fake on 4th down. Taylor in the gun. He decides to keep it as he breaks a tackle. Plenty of Tigers trying to strip the ball, punch it out, but they're going to call him down as there seems to be some extracurriculars going on, but do not see any linen. That's interesting. So we have ourselves a 2nd and short. Close to 9.5 remaining in the half. So another keeper. Taylor's rolling left, going for the end zone as it is caught. That is number 5, Eric Sanchez, with the touchdown reception.
And that was some pretty good coverage there.
He was playing really tight. He got it. I wasn't sure which defender was on it, but he had a hand on the ball. I thought that he was able to swat it out of his hands.
That was Dorian Brew there on the coverage, and Eric Sanchez just kind of turned at the last second to be able to catch that ball. And when you're the DB, your back's facing the quarterback, so really you're watching what's the receiver gonna do.
Retry.
So a false start by the offense is going to push him back 5 more yards. So right now it's still 13-7. We have seen this Tiger defense block a field goal or an extra point this season. See if they have any chance to get in there. We have another flag.
And number 17, Devondre McGee, was screaming off that edge there, and he probably wishes they didn't push it back another 5 yards here.
False start on offense. Retry the extra point.
So the extra point attempt is no good. It goes wide left. So the 2 false starts pushing back the extra point favors the Tigers. While the Eagles are still up by 6, all the Tigers have to do is just get 1 touchdown and kick their extra point to take the lead, which the Eagles have led every single minute of this game. Well, every time that they've had possession.
That's true.
There haven't been any lead changes. It started off 0-0, obviously, but there has not been any lead changes yet.
Just had the 0-0 tie, the 7-0, then the 7-7, then now 7-13. 7-1-3, Houston? The area code or the
713.
code? Yeah.
It's 713. There's also 281. There's 346. I ignore 346, but it is 713. 713 day in Houston is always July 13th.
It's the day after my birthday. So if I was born a day later, I could have been said I was born on Houston Day, but
Rodriguez teeing it up at the 40. He's been favoring the right hash.
Yep. I'm born right in between 7-11 Day as well. Just couldn't hit any of the really important holidays.
Do you at least get your Slurpee on 7-11 Day with a high pooch kick? But it looks like it's going to go out of bounds, so it is going to be a penalty on the Eagles again. This is their 5th penalty tonight.
I'll help the Tigers out in the field position.
It'll put them at the 30. Usually will be like a touchback, then they tack on that extra 5 yards So it should be 1st and 10 at the 30.
Illegal kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The Tigers lining up. Going empty again. Just keep an eye on Mahan going in motion. As Nunley finds Mahan in the flat, does a little juke, does another juke, tries to find some open space. He gets 8 on the reception. Tigers going with a lot of short, intermediate throws. They've made maybe 2 longer throws this evening, but they're trying to stay about close to the line of scrimmage, no further than 10 yards downfield with a lot of their pass plays. As Champagne goes in motion, it's a handoff to Medina as he gets stuffed in the backfield, as there'll be another loss. The Tigers are having trouble getting their run game going tonight, Sam.
Yeah, we've seen Conroe trying to get both Nick Medina and Jermico Green involved early in the run game. There's just not a lot going on. They've seen a lot more success of the sort of the jet sweeps, trying to get to the edge, and when they try to go up the middle, not good things have been happening.
So the 3rd down, that was a quick to Zach Allen. Goes incomplete, so we're going to see the Tigers punt team again. This will be a 3-and-out for the Tigers. Something you don't really want to see is having very little time of possession where your defense isn't getting well rested, where they're going to go back out, where potentially the Eagles could have great field position again.
I mean, maybe we see some trickeration from Conroe here. You never know.
So we did see 35 for the Eagles try to jump early. That was Trevor Swears. And he was offsides. And those free yards will give the Tigers a 1st down, as the offense is making their way back from the sideline as they were talking with the coach.
And that is a big-time penalty kind of in the course of this game. And if you're the Eagles, you're thinking about, man, we just got a big 3-and-out. We're going to get the ball back, try to extend this lead before halftime. You know, they get the ball after half, but then you get a kind of a clumsy penalty of an offsides on a punt when you really don't need to be all that aggressive.
And you know that Coach DeWitt for the Eagles is going to be talking to his players, especially come Monday in film study, looking at a lot of these penalties. So, yes, we're not seeing a lot of the play clock tonight, so I'm not sure where we're at, but the Tigers are lining up as they hand it off to Jermico as he still tries to turn the corner as he gets met in the backfield by a slew of Eagles. What is the plural term for eagles? Like a gaggle is for geese.
It's a great question. Might be something we have to look up at halftime. That might be our trivia question of the game for the people that watch it online.
If we could only get a poll started.
I know.
I know that we have an X. Right. Incomplete pass. It looked like that was to Keegan Odell. Nunley had it right in the numbers. It looked like it was going to be a 1st down, so it's going to be a 3rd and long.
And if you're the Tigers, they've been kind of aggressive all game, so you start getting into that conversation, and yeah, they might take a timeout to kind of talk about the game plan here, because if you pick up, like, you know, it's 3rd and 13, even if you pick up about 8 yards, you might want to consider going for it on that 4th down. Maybe even talk about, hey, if it's 4th and 5, 4th and 4, go with a hard count, try to draw them off sides, because You know, for the Eagles, they've had a lot of penalty issues throughout the night. Just probably the things they're talking about in that timeout. I know we talked about earlier, Conroe had all 3, so you can't take them into the second half, so might as well use them.
There you go. Well, I actually did just look up what we call a group of eagles. It's a colony.
Colony. It's kind of fitting for the as the American animal, as we originated with the 13 colonies. So.
Because I know other forms of bird terminology, like a group of vultures, is called a wake.
It's quite interesting.
So take that with your bird trivia the next time you actually have a trivia night. 3rd and long for the Tigers. 7:33 left here in the half. Nunley moves up in the pocket, decides to keep it as he's running. He slides as he gets maybe 4, 5 on that run as the punt team comes out, because there'll be a 4th and medium, let's say 4th and 7. Arjit Singh back to punt for the Tigers.
Trying to put the Eagles deep into their own territory with this punt here.
Nice booming kick. As the Tigers are able to just knock it out of bounds at the 3.
I think that was Zachary Allen there with the diving effort to keep it out of the end zone so they could pin them back deep. I think they're going to mark this right at the
It's either the 2 or the 3. I see him at the 3 right now. The umpire's going to I see him now moving to the 2. So it's going to be 1st and 10, ball at the 2.
He's now at the 1.
Oh.
They're conversing on if it's where he touched it or where it went out of bounds. They're trying to figure out that location. And especially when you're backed up this far, that 1 yard difference could make a drive. And Conroe might be looking to get real aggressive here, as you got to think New Caney is going to come out running the ball.
Still waiting to see. The referees are still conversing. They have it at the 1. So they're going to put them at the 3. But split backs for the Eagles that are in the end zone and in their own end zone. Tigers playing tight coverage as he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So they're going to stop forward progress back at the 3. I think that was number 11, Aaron Stewart, for the Eagles. Big stop by Mitch Melton, number 0 for the Tigers.
One of today's captains, Mitch Melton.
And also Caden Kellinares. I apologize if I couldn't say that right. Number 49 for the Tigers. So they're giving it to Stewart again as he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe 1 extra yard. It'll be a 3rd and 8. Actually, it wasn't Stewart that time. That was Caden Cooper. So we're going to have ourselves another official timeout. So with 5:47 remaining in the half. And Sam, great coverage by the special teams. Pinning back the Eagles at their own 3. Only allowed them to get just 2 yards so far.
It's the 3rd down defense, though. Are we going to see if the Tigers can come up with another big 3 and outs and give the offense plenty of time to score before the half?
To even it up. Tiger corner still playing press. Is going to be Taylor's going to keep it as he gets tackled back the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a 4th. He gets 1 on the rush, so it'll be a 4th and 6. Where Hunter Taylor.
Yep, gonna be New Caney gonna be punting from their own end zone here. That's kind of scary thing, and could see some pressure here, trying to possibly block this from the Conroe.
Do you know on average how many yards back a punter usually has? It's roughly about 14 and a half. So it looks like he was able to get the kickoff in enough time, and they're going to say that the ball went out of bounds at the 36 in the Eagle territory, in the Eagles colony.
It's great use of some new vocab we learned. I mean, this is some great field position for Conroe here.
And coming back to one of my Tiger tactics, got to win big on first down. While the plays and the passes have been there for Nunley, the receivers have just not been able to come down with the receptions. I have to commend Nunley for just staying present in the pocket. First and 10 for the Tigers. Nunley drops back, going for the home run. As he looks, he finds his man. Oh, it's incomplete. He was looking for Dorian Brew, who just drops it right at the 2.
Man.
Dorian Brew just had his man burned. And that would have been the equalizer for the Tigers.
And it looked like Conroe had a 2-street concept on that right side, and so it kind of forced the safety to choose which receiver he was going to commit to. And once he saw Nunley commit, he was going towards more the middle of the field. He decided to fling it out to the right.
I think that was Medina on the carry. That was Nick Medina, who gets tackled he was actually
in the backfield.
Met in the backfield, but they actually tackled him and gave him positive yardage. So you will take any yards where you can get them. And this will be 4-down territory for the Tigers, because I don't see Arjit Singh actually having the leg to make it for a field goal. Nunley gets the reception. That is a big reception right there by Zachary Allen. Here's the replay. So you see plenty of time in the pocket. As he starts to move, there was actually some defender, but then just throws it. And Allen getting yards after catch, where they finally are in the Eagles' nest.
Here we go. And so right there on that play, New Caney in a zoned look, and Nunley has been able to adjust, because last week he had Justin Williams just kind of there, that linebacker 5-star at Oak Ridge. You know, he threw a pick to him, so he kind of learned, I got to get over that linebacker's head and make sure I put it just before the safety, and he was able to find
just
that
get
seam.
a nice little arch on it.
So we see that Zachary Allen had to get up and kind of get that ball, but that's because he didn't want to, throw it right to the linebacker and the pick. So that was a great throw there by Nunley to extend the drive. And hopefully, if you're a Conroe fan, put up points on the board for the Tigers here.
And from the actual home crowd, I can hear where it has finally filled up some, because parking was a little difficult getting into the stadium tonight, but we do see a nice crowd by the Tiger fans and just yelling, "We want a touchdown." So Nunley under center, as it looks like there's a penalty.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that 1st and goal gets pushed back, so it'll be first. It's still 1st and goal, but it's going to be 12 yards to the end zone. As they're going to continue to keep that same play.
It was definitely a play
they've been practicing.
They've been practicing there, as that was a double motion play, kind of a trying to fool.
Kind of a fake,
had the ball.
Like a reverse style, and they gave it to Dorian Brew, who got 7 on the carry. So it'll be 2nd and goal at the 5. With 3 minutes remaining here in the first half, Tigers trying to punch it in. Thrown to the corner of the end zone. Nunley looking for Brew. This was a little fade.
It looks like Brew's going to come off the field for this 3rd down play.
Tigers need 5 to get 6. As it's incomplete.
It's decision time now.
So Mahan was met in the end zone as the Tigers are bringing out the field goal unit.
They're going to take the 3. To make it a 3-point game, if he were to make it, and that missed PAT by New Caney might have a factor into this decision, as if they were to make that PAT, it would be a 7-point game. Instead, right now it's 6.
So it's a 22-yarder chip shot for the Tigers. As the field goal is good, just narrows it to 3. Eagles still leading 13-10. After the big stop on the 3-and-out by the Tiger defense, getting 3.
It's his first made field goal of the year.
Most of the time it's just been PATs, huh?
Yep, absolutely. He attempted one earlier in the year where he missed a little wide right. This time still on that right hash, but able to get it towards the center, and Conroe able to close in on the gap between them and New Caney. And New Caney looking to put up points on their drive, knowing that they get, ball after halftime. So that definitely might play a role in how aggressive they want to be on this drive, as they know they're going to get the ball.
Last time the Tigers did kick off, it was a fumble that they were able to recover. It was Dalen Wilson who actually couldn't get a hand on it with that high pooch kick. Let's see if the Tigers attempt that same style of kick. Because if you look in the middle, around in between 30 and 40 yards, there's no one there. It's another pooch kick as they signal for the fair catch. That was number 20, Logan Dunn. So with 2:29 left in the half, the Eagles are going to start at their own 28. Tiger defense able to make some big stops on a couple drives. Able to draw a 3-and-out last time, getting to the quarterback, Hunter Taylor, only allowing them to just gain 3 yards. So Taylor's rolling right. Ball's tipped. I think that was Mitch Melton getting a hand on it.
And that's going to, stop the clock and allow, if Conroe is able to get a 3-and-out, they still have 2 of their timeouts. They can still get the ball with a good chunk of time out on this clock, run their 2-minute drill offense and try to even this game or even take the lead before halftime.
Tigers lining up with 4 down linemen as the Eagles get pinned at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 8. And I believe Tigers are calling a timeout to stop the clock.
Conroe, their second charge timeout.
Tigers needing to make another stop to allow there to be plenty of time and use their final timeout.
And this new Caney offense, really on the 3rd and longs, have heavily relied on getting Taylor outside of the pocket and trying to make a play either with his legs or able to find what is his receivers downfield. So more than likely that's the type of play concept we will see here.
What was the pep rally theme this week?
Since we only had a 4-day week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We didn't have a pep rally, but it was a Suicide Awareness Week, so that's why the theme is wearing purple.
Very nice.
We had, in the school store, we sold some suicide awareness shirts. They were purple, and that was the theme on Thursday, wear purple.
Very cool. 3rd and 8 for the Eagles. There's some movement from their offensive receivers, so that's going to push them back 5 more yards.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So the trips on the far side all ran. Hunter Taylor finds Caden Cooper, but that is another loss. And the Tigers are going to call their final timeout for 4th down with under 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Their final time.
Yeah, that was a play concept which New Caney wanted Conroe to focus on the top of the field where they had the trips action, and then it was just, a little screen pass and trying to, kind of on their first touchdown, try to catch the Conroe defense lacking on that end. But Conroe staying disciplined to their zones and able to pick up a big 3rd down stop in which they're going to get the ball back and then run their 2-minute offense.
Jalen Mayen is back to return for the Tigers. He's lined up at the Tiger 40. Still waiting for the Eagles punt team to line up. So number 80, Joel Rodriguez, is the punter for New Caney. Still having a few difficulties with the play clock tonight, so we don't know where they actually are. But Rodriguez able to punt it. As Mayen calls poison, and it looks like the Tigers are going to start at their own 34.
It's the second time we've seen New Caney on a punt get a favorable roll after it hit the ground.
Tigers need 66 yards to reach the end zone and take their first lead of the game. They have 1:44 to do so. As the Eagles are lining up with 3 down linemen. There is a flag. Might be movement on the Tigers.
False start.
Come back to one of my Tiger tactics. Don't give away any free yards. I know that the Eagles have been leading with penalties tonight. But a 1st and 15 is not favorable for the Tigers right now. Nunley pump fakes, throws to the middle of the field as he almost gets intercepted by the Eagles. That was Dravon Wilson. I think the Eagles are going to be playing around the seams a little bit. Nunley's been thrown to the middle of the field. If you watch here, he does that little slight pump, gets a nice throw as he was looking for Bryson Champagne. As he looks for Champagne again, as he comes down with it, as he's hit in coverage.
An absolute spectacular catch there by Bryson Champagne, able to reel it in, take the hit from the defender, and give him a very manageable 3rd and short here.
So the clock's still running. As they hand it off to Medina, as he gets to midfield, this is where the Tigers need to line up and do a clock play. As they rush to the line. Looks like they're going to keep the hurry up going. Pump fake, thrown to the sideline. It's going to be an incomplete pass intended for Medina.
Some great timing by the defense there as he hit him right as he was about to touch the ball and jar the ball loose, and going to have an official timeout here.
Tigers have 54 seconds on the clock, needing to go 50 yards. So it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Lining up with tight. There is movement. I think that was 52 Zion Page.
Offense, penalty, 2nd down.
Tigers still going to stick with the same play. Pocket collapses on Nunley as he gets sacked in the backfield. So is Andrew Wilkinson, who was able to get in the backfield, along with Zach Reyes for the Eagles. It is going to be 3rd and long with just 30 seconds remaining. So Tigers decide to just hand it off to D'Amico Green. And it's going to be 4th down. Actually, 3rd down because of the penalty. No, it's 4th. It's 4th and long.
That might just.
If you're following on your screen, I know it says 2nd and 14, but there's 6 seconds remaining, and time's going to expire. So that's been 24 minutes after one half. The Eagles still leading 13-10. It's a lot closer than what we were expecting.
Yep. This is what's been a very competitive football game so far, and we're going to hear from both bands. But last weekend, the Conroe Tiger Band, they placed 4th place at the Galena Park Marching Festival, and then I know they have an early morning tomorrow in which they're going to the Channelview Marching Contest. So this band, just like the football team, been very busy in their competitions, and they're gonna have a very early morning tomorrow. So get to hear both of these bands, and then we'll let the people at home or wherever you're watching listen to that.
Right, you are, Sam. Right now, New Caney is going to take the field first for their halftime show, and then it'll be the Tigers. And After halftime, we'll resume and we'll give you a couple of updates and highlights from the first half. So just sit back, enjoy the show, and we will be back at the start of the second half, where the New Caney Eagles will be receiving.
you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are coming into the second half as the Tigers have come out of their inflatable onto their sideline, and the New Caney Eagles have ran out of their inflatable and are at their sidelines. Sam, we were just talking about a few things during the half, especially just the performance of both teams so far. What did you like and what didn't you like from both teams from the first half?
Yeah, so I really like the aggressive aerial attack from the Tigers. And in the first half, Cam Nunley, 12 for 20, 136 yards, and a touchdown. As a freshman playing on varsity, those are phenomenal stats. Just one thing I like to see the Tigers improve on is really just, staying disciplined. That's kind of a big thing for both of the teams is, staying disciplined, not picking up those penalties. And if you're the New Caney offense, just continuing to find those big plays that pick up the first downs and not getting too far back on the third downs, just trying to stay in that third and manageable, because historically throughout the year, this Conroe Tiger defense has been a little giving up on those third downs. They allow those big third downs, but tonight the Conroe Tiger third down defense has been very good.
And you have to give it to a lot of just what I was talking about in one of my Tiger tactics earlier, just dominating the trenches. Tigers have been bringing a four-down lineman. Sometimes they're bringing a fifth, either a linebacker in there, but they're putting some pressure on Hunter Taylor. And while if the Eagles are going to show run or even try to get a few pass plays, they've only had one or two plays that kind of were just busted coverage on the defense, because you can see that the Tiger defense are playing very tight press coverage from the corners and just having some man and some zone back there in the middle of the field. But just one of those plays, which was, I think it was the Caden Cooper touchdown, that was the wheel route from the Eagles, just one of those that just kind of missed assignments that the Eagles were able to score one of their two touchdowns on tonight. But yes, being able to still put pressure on Hunter Taylor and just keeping it just a 3-point game while they're having to kick off right now to the Eagles, see if this defense can continue to put pressure, especially seeing what Coach said during halftime. Tigers with the pooch kick as he gets it to DJ Lewis, and he's tackled, I would say, at the 20. They're going to spot him at the 28. So the Eagles need 73 to get to the end zone. And looking just into the stats, I know that Oak Ridge is up on Grand Oaks right now, just south of us over at Woodforest Bank Stadium. I think it's 21-3. We're there in the second half right now. Just bringing a couple of tidbits before the Eagles line up and start their first drive of the second half. Eagles still doing that split back as they have a man in motion. But looks like there was movement.
Yeah, I think there might have been two guys in motion there at the same time, which...
Well, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, I believe they're not allowed to do that, so...
On offense, fire.
And that's got to be a big hit to the momentum of just really an uncalled for penalty of the first play coming out of the half. You probably have that play already drawn up what you're going to run. And
so the Eagles going with, looks like a stretch play, but Caden Cooper wasn't able to turn the corner. And it looks like that's going to be a loss, maybe push him back another yard or two.
Might have been a loss of about 4.
But there is a flag after the play. 2 penalties already in the second half.
Unsportsmanlike on the offense, unsportsmanlike on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay second down.
As you heard our referee, the unsportsmanlike from both sides, no warnings were issued. So it's going to be 2nd and 19 for the Eagles as they still line up with split backs. And Taylor running at the line of scrimmage. Nice coverage by Tice Williams, getting a hand on it in the middle of the field. See Taylor, pocket collapses and starts running up and throwing into double coverage.
Yeah, it looked like Conroe kind of had a little bit of a quarterback spy there. And it looked like Taylor wanted to escape the pocket and just run right up the middle. But the reason he threw that ball is because he saw a Conroe Tiger defender running right at him. So might have a little bit of quarterback spy with the threat of the quarterback with his legs, as is the team's leading rusher.
Well, the Tigers were ready for it.
Absolutely.
Taylor back. Plenty of time. Pocket collapses as he gets sacked in the backfield.
Oh, there is flag, though.
There's a sack. But that was Jaden Ramos on the sack. Haven't called his name much tonight. The penalty is on New Caney. So if the sack stands, it'll be a 4th and long.
Holding on the offense. That penalty declined. 4th down.
So Ramos gets his sack for the night, so it's going to be a 4th and long. Great defensive stop by the Tigers, drawing the 3 and out.
Yeah, there was no positive yard play there for New Caney that drive.
I have to give it to Joel Rodriguez, the punter for New Caney, as there is a flag on the play right at the end of the tackle. It was a big hit on Jalen Mayen.
What is top? Blocking the back on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
So while this drive was going to start at the Eagles 45, it's going to start at the Tiger 45. Actually, Tiger 46. We're going to get to see this offense for the first time this second half. Tigers going empty. Jermico Green in motion. There's a swing pass as he jukes but gets tackled by number 23, Andrew Wilkinson. Wilkinson has been making a lot of plays for the Eagles, playing around the line of scrimmage. Big edge rusher. And also playing great coverage for the Eagles as it's 2nd and 10. So Jermico stumbles in the backfield again for another loss. So it's going to be a 3rd. It's still no gain, so it's still going to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen to him about a couple of times tonight, where he's trying to make a hard cut out of the backfield, but looks like he's just keeps on losing his footing, and that might be, just a case of hasn't played in 3 weeks, just trying to find his groove back.
So Nunley throws, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Zachary Allen again. He got a hand on it, but it's just great coverage by DJ Lewis for the Eagles, which is going to draw a punt. So both teams, both 3 and outs right here in the second half. Nice punt. Favorable block or bounce as it is inside the 5 yet again. They're going to spot him at the 2.
Man.
The last time that the Tigers pinned the Eagles bag this deep off of a punt, they were able to draw another 3 and out. Just right here.
Just run to perfection.
That was great by Keegan Odell. Still following his lane and able to just get on the ball right inside the 5-yard line.
Yep. Keegan Odell, him and punter Archerson kind of have that kind of connection because for field goals and PATs, Keegan is the long snapper. So I'm sure they've been practicing that little punt dot, as the kids say.
To go split backs as he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 10, still at the 2 for the Eagles, at their own 2. They're making some substitutions.
It's very dangerous territory for the Eagles.
Tigers playing back as there's no running room for Caden Cooper as he gets stuffed back at the line, and they're going to call forward progress with a yard gain. I guess it's going to be a 3rd and 8 now. I think that was Ramos again with a nice stop. See if the Tigers can draw another 3 and out. Playing pretty tight coverage with the corners. They're pressing.
DBs are pressed all the way up.
So it's going to be a quarterback keeper, direct snap draw by Hunter Taylor, and he gets sacked. Actually, no, he does get another yard, so great defensive stop by the Tigers.
Yeah, that's the exact same play outcome that came the last time they were backed up into their own end zone. Just 3 straight 1-yard gains.
And it's also dangerous territory for Joel Rodriguez in the backfield, and didn't have enough time to get that punt off. This bounce is favorable for the Eagles yet again. I will say that Joel Rodriguez gets those favorable bounces for the Eagles. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Eagle 45, where the ball just landed. I think it was at the 36 or the 34.
It might have been a little before that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 3 rolls that have definitely been over 10 yards of roll in favor of the Eagles. And that's actually been a huge part of this game, as the last time they got a favorable roll, it kind of pushed them out of that field goal range when they were at their into Eagle territory. Conroe was at the 35, and just...
It looks like they're lining up in this Wildcat offense led by Dorian Brew. It's a bad snap. Dorian has to fall on it. So that 1st and 10 goes to a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, and you have a different quarterback lined up in there, and you're used to Cam Nunley, who is quite a bit shorter than Dorian Brew, probably about 6 to 8 inches in height difference, and so that snap was right about his knee. So center wasn't adjusted to having a different quarterback in there.
You also got to take into account for Nunley being a left-handed quarterback.
It's true.
A lot of centers have to get on that same rapport pretty much, because with his brother, Christian, he's a right-handed quarterback.
Yep. But big 3rd down here.
It'll be a 3rd and 11 with just 5 minutes, 20 seconds into the 3rd quarter. Tigers lining up. Eagles, 3 down linemen. Looks like they're bringing someone on the edge. Nunley drops back. Plenty of time in the pocket. He decides that he was going to keep it, but throws to the middle of the field, looking for Zachary Allen again. Incomplete. I don't know. I think right there Nunley should have just kept the ball and just ran with it.
Yeah, especially since you're kind of in 4-down territory. If he was able to pick up some quality yards, you're thinking about, being aggressive and going for it.
He second-guessed himself right there.
Yeah, he definitely did. And that's, something as a young quarterback, he's going to develop that football instinct of do what your mind thinks first. But we have another opportunity for Conroe to pin him deep.
So he was signaling for the fair catch as they let it go out of bounds. So it will be a touchback. We're going to have ourselves an official timeout as the Eagles offense comes back. Just you signal for the fair catch. You had a couple Tigers thinking, okay, he's going to catch it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of the part where you just have to get, behind the guy who's calling the fair catch just in case in this scenario where he did let it go by him, and then so you're able to pin it, inside the 5. But that ball was really close to bouncing out at the 1. And so, but it's an unfortunate break for the Tigers as you could have had back-to-back drives inside their own 5. Deep into the Eagles' nest.
There you go.
You got the terminology.
Caw. Seeing this Tiger defense lining up. As New Caney have 4 wide receiver set, bringing a man in motion. Hunter Taylor, plenty of time, looking for the home run down the middle of the field as it is just right out of his receiver's hands. That was for Fernando Camarano.
Yeah,
it's incomplete.
Devondre McGee there on the coverage, and I feel like I say it every week. He's just always there step by step with his receiver, and I feel like he has a bright future ahead of him. Going to TCU last week, I don't believe he allowed his man. I don't think he gave up any yards, and that was kind of the battle we were looking at. It was a really good sophomore receiver for Oak Ridge, about 6'2".
So Stewart gets the handoff. This is one of the biggest rushes of the night from New Caney. Tigers have been able to just stop him right at the line, usually bottling up, pushing in the gaps. So it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, this Conroe run defense has really impressed me tonight. And you look back at the last 2 games especially, where teams just at will can pick up running yards whenever they want to, but probably has been a big focus this week is being able to stop the run game, and it looks like they're doing a great job of that tonight.
So Taylor keeps it, gets some positive yards, and gets the first down for the Eagles. Looks like there were some minor extracurriculars going on, but they did not throw any linen on that play.
Yeah, it's been quite an aggressive game thus far tonight. And New Caney, that play concept there looked like a little bit of a speed option where Taylor had the option if he wanted to pitch it to his running back, but decided to keep it himself as he saw the hole. Saw one of the defenders commit to the running back, so decided just to keep it himself, pick up the first down.
Taylor drops back, going for another home run. And that is number 5, Eric Sanchez, who had the touchdown reception earlier, gets another big reception.
Big time field flipper there.
He gets 32 on the catch. He's playing tight with Conrad Levy. Tigers able to get a big stop on first down. And since Cooper did cut back, he was trying to continue with forward progress.
Take back to the 35. It's a huge loss.
So this will be a 2nd and 23. Eagles been able to get some air yards this drive. Tigers bringing only 4 down linemen. Eagles have Cooper in the backfield as he gets set. Taylor throwing the corner route as it is incomplete, but there is a flag. They're going to call pass interference. They're going to call it on Isaiah Pruitt. So the 15-yard penalty will be an automatic first down. The flag came from the opposing sideline.
Pass interference.
This will be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles as they are in the red zone. As Taylor gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. There is a flag.
I did see a player have his helmet off during that play. Not sure if the penalty has anything to do with that.
No, there was unsportsmanlike conduct late at the play.
2nd down.
Been a lot of big penalties on this drive so far.
And this is where a lot of film study is going to come into play, especially first day back at practice. You're going to be looking at a lot of the penalties and talking to the players, trying to understand what could you have done differently to prevent this from happening, because that is a huge penalty that pushes them back, especially that favors the Tigers whenever they just had the pass interference called on them.
Yeah, and if you thought you were in, kind of a field goal range, just kind of a tester right there, would have been a little more than about a 35-yarder. But now definitely out of field goal range.
Potentially 4-down territory for the Eagles, as it's a 2nd and 26.
You're gonna have to get some chunk plays here if you. If you don't, you can try to pin, Conroe back deep into their own territory, as you have the lead and you're playing to win and conserve that lead you have.
And both teams do have 3 timeouts right now. Taylor, clean pocket. Nice coverage. I think that was Dorian Brew playing his man tight.
And that's the big reason Conroe runs the press coverage, is because you have these really talented corners with Brew and McGee just pressing up with the receivers and not giving them any room to create any separation. And this is what makes their secondary, so scary for an offense.
Don't know how many 26-yard plays that the Eagles have in their playbook, but they're going to be passing. Hunter Taylor gets an open man. Busted coverage. Caden Cooper in for the touchdown.
Yep. I think somebody
missed the assignment.
I think somebody saw the quarterback try to escape the pocket and looked like he was going to take off, and I think somebody, tried to make the hero play and try to get him, and that allowed
just wide open in the middle of the field.
That's a big time miscue for Conroe, as you had. That was a 3rd and a country mile there.
You don't need to have any of these plays where you're going to give up that open space behind you. Potentially miss assignment.
We see that.
So the first score in the half goes to New Caney as they are up 20-10 with 14 minutes and 45 seconds left in regulation.
And that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty looks like it will not come back to haunt them on that drive, as they're able to pick up the points and double this lead, or double the Conroe's amount of points scored, as it's 20-10 now. And Conroe, this is what feels like a must put points up on the board type of drive, as this 2-possession game. But that earlier missed PAT by New Caney allows Conroe to say, all right, we can take our 3 and it's just a touchdown in a PAT game. But Conroe desperately needs points on this drive.
You're right, Sam. Conroe needs to get some points, and they need to get some points back on the board. They need to find the end zone, especially when they haven't been able to get much momentum going in this second half. As Rodriguez kicks it deep, looks like it's going to be returned by the Tigers. It's Mahan as he gets tackled at the 29. So Jalen Mahan was looking like he had himself a lane, able to get roughly 12 on, actually close to 20 on that return. See if the Tigers are going to try to initiate any of their ground game. Mr. Miko gets the handoff. Was trying to find the corner, couldn't get anywhere. Got to commend this Eagles front line being able to just continue to bottle up the run game for the Tigers.
And that's been a massive story throughout this game, is when Conroe's trying to establish that run game, it's just been completely blocked by this New Caney front 7, and they're playing fantastic run defense, not being able to let either Jermico or Nick Medina.
I think the biggest run that Conroe had was the 8-yard run by Dorian Brew earlier in the game.
On the first play of the game, yeah.
So the Tigers throw an incomplete pass. It's going to be a 3rd and 8. Like I said, it's going to be a 3rd and 8. Back in their own territory. They were able to execute on 3rd down earlier in the first half, but have not been able to find anything in the second half, as Nunley has plenty of time as he was trying to check it down over to Keegan Odell, as it's going to be an incomplete pass.
It's a tough drop there.
I think Odell was just trying to keep an eye on for the open space and took his eye off the ball for a split second.
Yeah, it's the fundamentals right there, is just, catching that ball first and then, looking downfield. I know it's a little scary out there when it's a check down and you're trying to catch the ball and you don't know if there's anybody behind you about to, light you up.
So seeing with a nice punt, this will get stopped at the 20. Eagles scored the last time they had the ball. off of a busted miscue from the Tiger defense, just leaving it open in center field for the baseball terminology, but it was just wide open in the middle of the field for, I think it was Caden Cooper, which has his second touchdown tonight. So he has 2 receiving touchdowns for the Eagles.
Yeah, and on that drive, that Conroe defense looked really solid just for that one busted coverage play.
So Cooper gets the handoff as he gets stopped after gaining 3. Tigers have been dominant in the trenches tonight.
Both teams.
You're right. Both teams have been.
There's not been a lot of effective run game for either of these teams.
So it's 2nd and 7, closing in on a minute remaining in the third quarter, as Taylor evades a sack and finally gets tackled. I would say that it would be a no gain. Yeah, it's a no gain for the junior quarterback, who's been taking
some hits.
He's been taking some hits. He's been rushed quite a bit tonight. Now it's another 3rd down.
It's a big 3rd down. If you're Conroe here, you can't get too aggressive here on the pressure and leaving your man, especially if it is a blitz by the linebackers. The DBs have got to stay committed to their man.
So Tice Williams at safety. So it's a screen over to Cooper as he gets out of bounds and gets the 1st down. There is a flag.
Are they picking it up? He was waving around, put it in his pocket.
Looks like the penalty is going to be on Conroe. So at the spot of the foul, most likely is going to be the line judge and the head referee are still conversing. I guess
gotta get the right football in there.
Okay. So I guess the penalty was picked up, so there was no flag on the play. 1st and 10 for New Caney. Taylor keeps it as he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. Telling you, they're keeping an eye on him.
Yeah. They've contained him quite well, and that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
So 12 minutes remaining in the game. New Caney leading 20-10 over the Conroe Tigers. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 as we switch to the opposite end of the field. That quarter flew by pretty quick.
Absolutely. There was a lot of run plays, milk the clock. But as they say, time flies by when you're having fun, and this has been a fun one to call the night.
It looked like it wasn't going to be that quick of a quarter, especially whenever the penalties were going off right in the beginning. What do you want to see from this Tiger offense?
I'd like to see a lot more sort of some motion concepts where you have, Jalen Mayon or Bryson Champagne get into that motion, which really worked well for them in that first half, especially on that drive where the Tigers were able to get into the end zone, use a lot of motion. And I'd also just like to see, some plays that will kind of, trick the offense. I don't know if that one play earlier where, Nunley went over the sideline, if it was a miscommunication or it was an actual play. I kind of like to see more of that stuff out of the Tigers, catch the defense, you know, not really paying attention, just maybe take some shots down the field. But if you're Conroe, it's still a very manageable game with these 12 minutes left and all 3 timeouts.
Taylor, plenty of time. Changing his read as he throws the incomplete, so it's going to be a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was going for his sideline and decided to change it up in the middle of the field as Tice Williams was there on the coverage. Tice has been playing back in the safety role.
Yep, he's been really everywhere on that field. I believe he had at least 2 tackles where he's been able to get the running back in the backfield for a big loss. So he's been a big factor for this defense tonight.
So keep an eye out for number 5, Eric Sanchez. He was able to get some plays earlier. So that's going to be an incomplete pass. That pass was intended to Dravon Wilson, and it got in a big stop there by the Tiger defense.
Yeah, Wilson's really been kept in check all night as he's New Caney's leading receiver on the season. But this Conroe secondary has just been phenomenal all year.
And Joel Rodriguez has had a lot of punts that favored with his bounces, but Mann's going to try to keep it in return. He gets past the 50. He's still untouched. He's still at the sideline. He breaks tackles. He is right tackled down inside the 30.
Yeah, and that punt, it was a low snap which hit the ground, and Rodriguez was able to get it off, but not able to pick up as much power as he usually would. And it does take a good bounce, but it bounces right into Mayon's hands, and at the snap of a finger, he takes off and is able to just get great field position for this Conroe offense, and that is a big spark.
So great vision, but so the return gets pushed back from the penalty at the spot of the foul. I think they said block in the back. So having field position inside the 30 gets pushed back into Tiger territory where they're lining up at their own 45, close to midfield. Nunley's in the gun. Medina's to his left. So Bryson Champagne gets hit as he catches for no gain.
And that's going to be, yeah.
That is going to be a flag following.
And another one. So the referee throws his hat off, so I think these might be offsetting penalties. I think one of the Conroe players that was not on the play had come onto the field there. But we'll see what the official ruling is here.
So we know that the late hit was out of bounds, what the initial flag was, but then we saw the line judge throw his hat for the penalty.
We have offsetting penalties. Personal foul, late hit on the defense, unsportsmanlike, on the offense, second down.
So the penalty's offsetting. It's going to be a second down and 11. As Mahan goes in motion. Nunley gets blitzed and is sacked in the backfield. That was Dalen Wilson. That just got his way through the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and long.
It's going to be a huge 3rd down play for the Tigers.
Looked like someone was
Yeah, there was a lot of
movement at the
pre-snap
line, but they
movement,
did not throw a flag as it was an incomplete pass. It's going to be 4th and 18. The Tigers are going to punt this one away. So Arjit Singh back to punt. New Caney has 2 returners back. As he gets out of bounds, looks like the 34. So the Eagles are going to start their own 34 with 10:33 remaining as they're still leading 20-10. The Tiger defense has been able to make a lot of stops. Even though they're trailing, they've been able to make some big stops. Unfortunately, the Tiger offense hasn't been able to capitalize on these 3 and outs.
Yeah, and I believe that is 4 straight 3 and outs for the Conroe offense. So this defense probably a little bit winded and tired out there.
So you're seeing Dave Stewart getting the run for New Caney.
Yeah, this is right about the time where the defense might be fatigued and we might see some larger gains for this New Caney offense heading later into this ball game.
And Stewart's still in the backfield. I know that New Caney has 2 running backs with the name Stewart. As he gets the first down, as he moves the chains, as they're going to chop the bit to make their way downfield. With just 10 minutes remaining in the game, they're probably going to call Stewart's number again.
Yeah, New Caney, you're just trying to get time off of the clock here.
Stewart gets just 1. So the Tigers know that they're going to be feeding Stewart right now.
And, yeah, there's the flag.
That was a horse collar tackle by the Tigers.
It's unfortunate tackle there. You really had him, but just you can't grab him up there by the head area. So that big key of the second half has definitely been these 15-yard penalties, let alone just the extra 5 and 10-yard penalties we've seen. There's been a lot of the big ones, the 15-yarders.
This late in the game, got to not have as many of these mistakes. That's where a lot of your conditioning comes into play.
Absolutely.
Because we know that both teams are tired. It's been a hard-fought battle.
And it looks like this New Caney run game has been a kind of light on this drive as they picked up, 8, 3, and then 4. So
And Taylor Stewart, or Hunter Taylor, gets Jacoby Carter as it's going to be 3rd and short. But I do see Dave Stewart still in the backfield. They might call his number with a draw play. So they're going to go with an option. Taylor keeps it. He gets the first down. So Hunter Taylor comes off the field. We're going to see Caden Cooper take the direct snap.
Wildcat. And we don't know how much time is on the play clock here.
Cooper gets tackled after a 1-yard gain, I think, because of the previous play. Taylor's helmet came off. I think he had to go to the sideline to get an equipment adjustment, make sure that everything was A-OK. And Hunter Taylor's back on the field. As this Eagle offense continues to thrive. So Stewart gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 3rd and 10, maybe 3rd and 9.
But this drive is already taken off over 4 minutes of clock. So no matter the outcome of the drive for the Eagles, definitely a successful drive nonetheless, able to, get as much time as possible off this clock.
So Taylor throws the incomplete. Looking in the middle of the field, it was Isaiah Pruitt who was there on the coverage. So it'll be a 4th and 9. We're going to see the field goal. Looks like we're going to see the field goal unit.
But we know how successful this Conroe defensive special teams has been on blocking field goals, and Devondre McGee is the guy you got to be looking at in this play if you want to block field goal.
So it's a 37-yarder. As it is no good.
They're still live.
Wide right. Wide right. It had the distance, just the placement was off. Some signs of life for this Tiger offense. Not having too much of a deficit. Still trying to find 10 points to get on the board. This is obviously 4-down territory now.
Oh, yeah. From here on out.
Tigers need 80 with 5:41 remaining. Brew gets it as he gets 5. Getting the quick pass over to Dorian Brew. Try to see if he had open space. All these players need are just a few yards of open space and then to put on the burners.
Yeah, and this Conroe offense taking a lot of time to call the next play.
As Nunley throws an interception, that is number 21, DJ Lewis, as he's going towards the end zone, gets tackled, pushed out of bounds just short of the goal line. I think he was out at the 3 or maybe the 4.
Yeah.
Nunley throws his second interception of the season into double coverage, looking for Dorian Brew.
And Nunley there took a big shot as he was throwing that ball. Might have had an effect on the trajectory and where the ball was ended up into an Eagle player's hands, and
Eagles going with a run game. So it's Caden Cooper as he gets stopped after 2 yards. They call Cooper again as he just trots in the end zone, finds a lane, just gets 2 yards for the score. It is now 26-10, New Caney. Just 2 plays after the interception, the Eagles able to get in the end zone.
I believe that is his hat trick. I believe he has scored all 3 of the touchdowns tonight for the Eagles. So Caden Cooper having himself a fantastic game.
There is a flag. Not sure if it's movement on the offense. They have had multiple penalties lining up for the PAT.
Unsportsmanlike on the defense.
The Tigers are going to get penalized for unsportsmanlike. That's going to get tacked on after the point after.
Drop a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. That yard, 15 yards will be administered on the kickoff.
So instead of being lined up at the 40, I think they're going to be kicking off at the 45. The Tiger 45.
Mm-hmm.
Low snap. They're going to try to get the 2 points, and it's a successful 2-point conversion. So it's now 28-10.
And there's another flag on the field.
Looks like it's right over at the 6-yard line. Now, another by the line judge. It's going to be another dead ball foul. Looks like it'll be on the Tigers. Referee's still conversing. I don't know what I saw.
Yeah, definitely on the Tigers, I believe. And
well, I know that the flag was after some Tigers were going back to the sideline. The hat from the line judge was thrown. Because they already have the 15-yarder that's going to be assessed from the dead ball foul from the point after. Now there's going to be another penalty potentially right now.
But New Caney coming out strong in this second half. Holding the Tigers to no points in the second half, and not even many first downs.
It's just one of those shameful things that you're looking at the players on the sideline. You know that they feel defeated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't believe Conroe has picked up a first down this half. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 3-and-outs, and then on that 5th drive of the half, the interception by Nunley. So this New Caney defense really making that statement.
Following halftime.
Mm-hmm. They make that adjustments, and we're able to get to the offense, which is being led by the freshman quarterback, as we said.
But with all the penalties that have occurred, the Eagles are going to kick off at the Tigers' 30. The Eagles would have been kicking off at their own 40. So the 30 yards are pushing them to the Tigers' 30.
I've never seen this before.
Obviously, try to go for an onside kick.
Yeah, definitely.
because you know that it would be great field position if you can recover.
But if not, it's basically like a touchback.
All the Tigers need are just one big play to just There is a flag.
Possibly an offsides.
The Eagles are saying that they got it.
On the kicking team.
Yeah. Definitely when you're trying to get the onside recovery, sometimes the recovery team a little too aggressive. You know, you want to be that guy that gets the ball in the recovery. That's got to be one of the most deflating feelings is when you recover the onside, but then one of your players just a yard or two offsides when the ball was kicked. So I guess that means they're going to redo.
They're going to reattempt. I think that they're going to be pushing it back to the 35. But the referees are still conversing right now.
It's going to be the Conroe 35. So still some good field position for the Eagles on this kickoff.
Outside on the kicking team. 5 yards from the spot, first down.
Or maybe they're just going to give the ball to the Tigers. Looks like there's some confusion on the field as parts of both special teams are still out there.
Looks like the Conroe offense is talking with the head coach and coordinator. So we're going to see, I don't know, with a lot of the confusion that's going on, the referees are huddled back up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pull up the rule book on this one. See if I have enough time.
Too bad we don't have like an expert rules analysis like most of the big time networks.
What do you know, Gene? Gene?
Yeah, Gene, calling Gene.
I don't know, Gene. I don't know.
Romo and
Nance.
Romo
Nance actually went to U of H.
Mm-hmm.
We had offside on the kicking team. The kicking team recovered the ball, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
Okay. We got some clarification there that since New Caney recovered the onside kick, if Conroe were to decline the penalty, it would be New Caney ball. So therefore, they accept the penalty, push him back 5 yards, and make him have to try it again.
So the return team is lining back up. New Caney will most likely try to attempt that onside yet again.
The New Caney recovery team all in the sprinters formation.
Smart play by the Tigers. That was 22. That was Logan Rogerson just recovering and falling directly on it.
Was on the hands team for a reason. Sure-fired reception there, and Conroe looking to put some points on the board this half. So
it's one of those drives that they need to make their way downfield.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to go for the big plays. Play smart. Just try to move the chains and at least get a score. Just one of those plays that can just turn this momentum around and get some positivity, because it's like the confidence has been just taken away from this team right now.
And it feels that way, and what it felt like was a pretty solid offensive first half, driving down the field.
We have ourselves another penalty following the play. So it's a yellow linen party tonight in the second half.
Definitely.
Another flag thrown in the direction of New Caney.
Unsportsmanlike offense, unsportsmanlike defense. They are offset. Second down.
So the double unsportsmanlike penalties offset. Usually there tend to be some sort of warnings at times whenever this type of penalties continue to occur, but haven't heard anything from the referees issuing any warnings tonight. Nunley throws almost another interception, overthrowing Tyler Weiss.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who that ball was intended for, because it looked like Mayon was there on a sort of a wheel route behind, so he just kind of found the spot where neither one of the guys could have caught it, right between Tyler Wise and then Jalen Mayon. But looking to pick up the first down of the half still.
And it's another incomplete from the Tigers as he was looking for Jalen Mayon. The Tigers are going to bring out the punt team. DeAndre Frazier back to return for the Eagles. Could the Tigers potentially go for a fake right now?
They could. Arjit Singh, the punter, is right now their backup quarterback, but I guess they won't.
Frazier signals his team to stay away as the play is dead at the 34.
And on this New Caney drive, more than likely we'll see how many ever handoffs or run plays they can get off.
You saw a lot of Dave Stewart in the previous drive, where we were talking about how fast that third quarter was. It's kind of slowed down a lot especially in the final 6 minutes.
Definitely, with the two 15-yard penalties ensuing onto the next kickoff, and then the offsides, and just how knowing what to rule the play.
As Stewart gets the handoff, gets 4. This is just one of those cases where the Eagles are going to just continue to keep the ground game going, try to get the first down, and try to close out this game with the 18-point lead.
Yeah, looking to pick up their first win in district play, the Eagles are.
So a short gain brings it 3rd and 4. Still proud of this Tiger defense being able to still put stoppage to this ground game that New Caney's been trying to dish out. Since we don't truly have a play clock, can't really see how much they're chewing off. But it also looks like Taylor's not in the game, and Grant Webb is at quarterback. The sophomore is at quarterback for the Eagles. as he goes to screen and throws an incomplete pass, which draws the 4th down.
And it looks like Eagles are going to stay on the field here.
And it also, just south of us, Oak Ridge and Grand Oaks are finally concluding, and Oak Ridge gets the victory.
I think that score says 28-16. But we have kind of an obstructed view up here. There is a pole that is blocking the TV to the screen. And it looks like the Eagles will actually bring out the punt team here.
So Mahan decides to keep it as he tries to turn the corner and gets tackled at the 35. Mahan gets maybe 7 on that return.
Yeah, it was some good special teams work by the Eagles there. It was a pretty high and deep punt.
Well, Sam, you were right. It was 28-16.
All right, glad to see my vision hasn't gone on the decline yet.
I was not going to tempt it. I thought I saw 28-6.
Oh.
So Nunley pitches it to Brew, finds an open lane, gets a big first down.
I believe that's
I'm sorry.
Tatum Bell.
That was Tatum Bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring that bell.
First down of the half for the Tigers. Making these reps count. Still time to put up points on the board.
So they call on the bell. Gets 5 on the carry. As the Tigers are at midfield.
Yep, 2nd and 5. Trying to pick up multiple first downs on this drive.
Nunley, clean pocket, throws deep, finds his man. That is a touchdown for the Tigers. That was a 50-yarder.
Zachary Allen, is that 15? I think it is. Or that's 16. No, I think it's 15.
Yeah, that was Zachary Allen, number 15, with a 50-yard reception.
If it was number 16, that would have been kind of crazy since that's the kicker, Arjit Singh. So, but that was a great throw as they're sending. They're going to take a timeout because it looks like they're going to try to go for 2 to cut it to 10 to then make it a little bit more easier if they're going to try and come back in this game.
With an onside kick?
Yeah, onside kick. You're going to have to get 2 of them more than likely because you just burned one of the timeouts. So there goes the 3 and out, 3 timeout strategy. So you're going to have to go for 2, onside kick, see what happens, and then you play the game from there. But, you put some points on in the second half.
It was just one of those things I was referring to earlier. Is just you need that one big play to kind of give that confidence boost back. It's a great thing, especially for the Tigers, to finally get a score in this half, especially just not being able to get that first down until late here in the fourth quarter, getting that first down of the half. So Nunley, plenty of time, throws to the corner of the end zone as it is caught. The 2-point conversion is good for the Tigers.
I think that might have been Zachary Allen again. And we're going to take a look at the replay here on that 50-yard touchdown.
That was Zachary Allen, number 15. With where we're spotted at here in the booth, we're a little bit...
Yeah, probably the furthest spot away from that point on the field.
That angle, yeah.
Yeah, that's the the very back right of the end zone, and we're pretty far away. But they get the 2-point conversion and
make it a 10-point game with 1:09 left.
definitely spices some things up here. And you never know.
Spicy.
On the onside kick, we assume that is going to be ensuing, but on this play, just a little fade route to the back quarter of the end zone. That is Zachary Allen, who has been Nunley's man that drive.
Tigers are looking for a couple of quick players to line up on the onside.
Getting your skill guys out there with the hands. I see Nick Medina in that huddle. Also see Tice Williams, Tate Trantham.
Sam, you've been covering a lot of the Tigers games this season. Have they attempted many onsides?
I don't believe we've attempted any onside kicks this year.
Okay.
So this is going to be a first. But the Eagles stacking the, looks like the bottom side of the field. So, but Singh has not indicated which side.
And the Eagles are going to call a timeout.
There was a lot of Eagles players lined up towards the bottom of the field, and really the Tigers hadn't dedicated which side they were going to go to, and it was about a 3-on-5 at the top. So the Eagles make a smart and cautious call, take the timeout. You don't want to give up the football. But earlier in that first quarter, the Tigers got the ball back on a kickoff, but wasn't an onside kick, kind of a little pooch right around a soft spot in the Eagles' return formation.
It was Dalen Wilson who bobbled it, and the Tigers were able to come up with it. So 1:09 before we call it a quits, and the Tigers trying to make this more of a competitive game, going for the onside.
Still, the top side of the screen looks pretty open. Arjit Singh might kick it. Hasn't decided yet. Ooh.
It was just a laser.
Yeah, kicks it. That was
over to Jacob Saul.
One of the ones you're trying to kick it really hard and ricochet off one of the players and try to recover, but New Caney will get possession, and it looks like since Conroe only has those 2 timeouts, more than likely can take this clock down to about 15 seconds with no first down if Conroe elects to use those last 2 timeouts, but they might not and just let the clock run all the way out, but we will see. And Conroe's going to take a timeout here.
Timeout. Conroe, their second charge, timeout.
Not really sure.
Might have had wrong personnel in there, too many people, not sure, but.
Well, just heads up, let's go ahead and discuss what's going on next week. Conroe's going to be on their bye week next week, so there will be 0 games here at Moorhead Bank Stadium. The only 2 games are going to be played at Woodforest Bank Stadium.
Yep.
So are you going to come to one of those games next week?
I'm not sure. I guess I gotta figure that out.
I will be at the Thursday night game with Cleveland and Oak Ridge if you're feeling frosty.
All right.
And I believe it'll be College Park in the Woodlands on Friday night.
Yep, that's the Woodlands rivalry game. The 2 Woodlands schools going head-to-head.
So handoff to Stewart. Gets met at I think he gets 2 on the carry, so it'll be a 2nd and 8 under a minute left.
And we don't know how much time is on that play clock, so I'm sure there's a referee that has the a watch tracking the time, but
it is a little unfortunate not being able to
Yeah.
see the play clock tonight. Eagles in the split backs. Hunter Taylor takes the knee,
Yep.
bends the knee.
And Conroe does not look like they're going to use their timeout. So that is going to be the conclusion of the ball game tonight.
After 48 minutes, which was getting competitive yet again at the end, Tigers fall to the New Caney Eagles 28-18. They are now 1-4 in district play on the season. The New Caney Eagles find their first district win over the Conroe Tigers. That's going to do it for us tonight. No homecoming. There's not going to be any special extra halftime. I've covered a lot of homecoming games this season. No rain delays, no nothing like that. We're actually getting out of here fairly early. It's just 9:59 right now.
That might be the earliest game I've.
Well, in 10 seconds it will be 10 o'clock, but
Still, hey. We had that rain delay 2 weeks
never got to
ago.
talk about the Indiana Jones.
I know, we didn't.
We never got it started getting to a competitive game.
It was a very competitive game.
But just want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight for the CISD Moorhead Stadium stream. And don't forget, if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, be sure to follow us at Conroe ISD Sports on Facebook, Twitter, now known as X or Instagram. We continue to bring plenty of content and information for you as we are covering a couple of the previous games highlights, especially that Jalen Mayen touchdown early in the game. And also, for those of you that have been tuning in to us tonight on the YouTube stream, if you have not subscribed, please click that button. Looks like a pill if you're on your computer, and it should be a rectangle if you're on your smartphone, I believe.
Something
and then
like that.
after you subscribe, you click that bell, and it'll notify you anytime we're going live. And as a reminder, we're not going to be live at all here next week. Conroe's on a bye. Caney Creek is on the road playing Willis. The 2 games for the CISD are going to be played at Woodforce Bank Stadium. So just a reminder for that. I'm Jackson Cochran.
I'm Sam Ulrich.
Thank you for tuning in with us tonight, Sam.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Hope you have yourself
sir.
a great weekend.
Oh,
you had all
too.
that energy earlier.
I know. We don't have school on Monday, so I'm definitely going to have myself. We didn't have school today. I'm going to have a fantastic 4-day weekend.
I miss those.
I'm going to rest up and get ready for next week. Just like this Conroe team, going to rest up next week with the bye. So.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. So just be sure to remember, like and subscribe, and we will be coming in 2 weeks for Week 9. I'm Jackson Cochran with Sam Ulrich. Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. Go Astros.
Bring all your trash down, please. Make sure no trash is left. Fair from Euphonium, here to